Good afternoon, juniors, on this ACP Monday. Today we're going to dive back into someplace you've been before. We're going to dive back into a site called Career Cruising, which is the main state site for career information. The state, a few years back, has put in some rules and regs on what we need to do career-wise. They recommend that most schools do 9 or 10 activities on Career Cruising a year. Some schools do that, some don't. Our committee feels that's way too much. We think that if we get you familiarized with all the features, you can use it as a resource on its own. So really, it'll be today and maybe one more time this year that you'll touch this Career Cruising site. So what we're going to do today is we're going to hit up resources, links on the site that maybe have been overlooked, maybe haven't gotten a lot of play that might be pretty decent. And in addition to that, we're going to go into a deeper dive into what you can do with assessment results that we haven't talked about yet. So those are the two things. So as far as pieces of the site that we think maybe are pretty decent, obviously if you go into careers, you can click on any career and find all kinds of jobs. I'm going to click on machinist, and one thing that I think is a pretty good link, that we haven't delved into, everyone delves into earnings and education. One is related careers. Hey, if I'm a hands-on guy that might do something like machinist, what are some other ideas that are out there that I might not have thought of? And you can get all the info from those careers as well. So related careers I think is pretty good. In the education section, one thing that I think is pretty good is the comparing feature. If I go into education and click all the schools in Wisconsin, there is a compare schools feature I can do on top, and I can compare any schools I want side by side with all their information. So right now I'm going to make it easy. Click the top one, add another Wisconsin school, and go down to a little bit more familiar. Well, go down to a tech college. We just had a girl talk about applying to there yesterday, and we'll go down to a UW Systems school just to have 3 on the screen that are a little bit different in nature. So University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, and I'm complete. So right now, if you want to compare schools side by side, this is kind of neat in that you get a side-by-side comparison of all kinds of little details. You can change, this is general information, you can change it to admissions requirements, expenses. It's a pretty accurate site. Career Cruising does have it nailed down pretty good from an accuracy standpoint. Maybe not 100% perfect, but pretty good. I checked Whitewater yesterday, and their tuition and fees matched to the dollar as to what Whitewater was charging. So, so it's pretty good, pretty accurate. I do think eventually these are starter sites, Career Locker and Career Cruising and sites like that. Eventually, before you actually apply and go to schools, you want to be on the school sites themselves because they're a little more detailed and you're going to have more of 100% confidence that you have the right info going forward. So I think comparing schools is good. Related careers is good. Another thing that is pretty good, in my opinion, is if you go on the Career Cruising site, down at the very bottom they have a bunch of other links. A lot of these are for adults, but this site is yours for life. You have access to it for life. If you've stepped in as a high schooler, your username and password still work. I think the good one on here is Wisconsin Skills Explorer. I take Wisconsin Skills Explorer and I can take any job, say I used to be a truck driver or I used to be a nurse or whatever else. For right now I'm going to say I used to be a welder, and it's going to say what kind of jobs are out there with my skill set. And when I click on that, it gives me a bunch of choices. And when I click on that, it gives me all the job openings in the state of Wisconsin that are related to that particular skill set. So I click on any one of these, and with that skill set, it gives you all kinds of jobs and job openings. For instance, I could be a motorboat mechanic, a boat mechanic. That's a very similar skill set to that of a welder. I click on it, it will tell me exactly where the job openings are. There's one here in Appleton, and I could apply. So being a lifetime site, that's kind of a good feature also. Okay, so that's it for the auxiliary good features. What we're going to do today is we're going to clean up a little bit. We're going to clean up our assessments that we did earlier. All of us have done Career Cruising assessments. If we didn't, that's your job today, is to do the actual assessment. It's 116 questions. You click on it, matchmaker, and there'll be like 40 questions. It'll say answer more questions, and you'll do that. So if you've never done one, you're doing one today. If you have done one, there'll be a match. There'll be a name down here, like mine is named Take Two. I've got it under Peyton Gritt's name here, and it gives me my matches from the last time I did an interest inventory. Okay, so now what we're going to do today, though, is we're going to look at why some of these things have grades on, and some of these have grades on that are better and worse than others, including my top interest here when I did mine came out to be a financial analyst. But my grade was a B. So basically they're saying, so why is that? Why do I have a B there, a B here? Down below, you can go far enough, I can find a C on forensics accountant. Why do I have different grades and they're not basically in order? And the reason is, when I did this, the survey, the interest assessment, my interests did not match up with what I said my skills were. So I've got a choice. Either I can say, hey, I'm not going to do that because that's not my skill set, or I'm going to up my skills in that area by the time I need to get a job. So I'm going to see what happened on Research Analyst and why did I not get an A. So I click on this, and I'm going to go down to my skills, and on my skills, I noticed using a computer, I gave myself a low mark. I wasn't really great at that. Advanced reading and presenting ideas, I gave myself medium marks. Persuading, I gave myself a medium to low mark. So I put some things down that that didn't help me out as far as saying my skills match. So either I've got to up those skills or look for different jobs is kind of the truth of it. So what do I need to do? Our task today with this, with the mismatches in interest and careers, our task today is to look for a B or a C and change a couple of those to A's. By doing that, you have to change your skill set, basically committing to improve your skill set. So how I would do that is I'd click on this where it says My Skills and review my answers, and I can go right down there and change them. Now, I said I didn't have a lot of, I wasn't really great at persuading. If I change that to highly skilled and save an update, oh, that was enough. I've got an A. I just have to be better at persuading. So you want to take your interests and make them match better with your skills. That's your job for today. If you don't have an interest inventory, interest assessment done, you're going to do that whole thing. Otherwise, you're going to take a couple of your interests and make them match to your skills, just basically to know that feature is there and to know the correlation between interest and skills. So that's it for today. Shouldn't take a ton of time. I'd say 5-10 minutes, but that is our task for today. Thank you.